All right, Mr. Chimago, I know you have other engagements, so we'll let you go in just a moment. I don't envy your job right now. A lot of explainers from your end. But well, let just give us a synopsized version of this argument around switching off the phone and putting it in flight mode. Because some people argue, oh, when I go abroad, nobody forces me to do this and that. So once and for all, explain to us why this is important, why it must be switched off, or whether or not just putting it in flight mode. Because as you said, and I totally agree with you, we must go to the roots of how things escalated to this point. So talk to us about this switching off a phone and, of course, the issue around flight mode during landing or takeoff.
You know, when I came into civil aviation, this is the question I also used to ask, because personally, I used to hate being asked to turn off my phone as well, you know. But, you know, it's been explained to us that if your phones are on, somehow it interferes with the communication system of the aircraft. Perhaps if only one passenger has their phone on, it may not be that much of a problem. But if everybody is allowed to keep their phones on, it could have that interference, and it affects safety, of course, of the aircraft. But beyond that, the point is this: there are regulations. Those regulations are ICAO standard. There are countries or airlines you fly who do not ask you to switch off your phone. They tell you you can have your phone on airplane mode. But you cannot say because this airline does this, another airline does not have a right to its own policy. Your duty is to respect cabin crew and the regulations at all times. It's not a matter of choice. The place to have that argument is not when a flight is about to depart. You can file a petition to the National Assembly, to the CAA, to whatever authorities you want to, asking for, you know, another look into that particular part of the regulation, because regulations get reviewed every time, every now and then, right? But not while you are already aboard the flight to take off. You want to start arguing based on your personal opinion. You do not have that right. Obey the laws. Look, it's like the argument where people question why passengers should pay for trolley at the Lagos airport, for instance. And then these people come online and say, in saner climes, nobody does that. But we also travel. I have paid for trolleys in cities like Miami. As a matter of fact, I reminded this passenger, last year in Miami, I paid $7 for a trolley. This year, when I returned to Miami, the fee had increased to $9. Now, different airports have different rules. You know, there are slight variations to these regulations and rules. Your duty is to respect, obey the rules of each airport, airline that you are traveling with. It is not a time for arguments.